Good morning guys, what are we doing today? Slightly different video to usual, but we're having the van and well, I'm in my work clothes. I'm going to combine two things in one video, and that's going to be going and collecting an aeroplane from the marshlands, and hopefully it's getting picked up by a helicopter at some point today. It had some emergency land yesterday. And two, me explaining a little bit about me and how I used to make a living. I don't want to just sit here and talk to a camera. Might as well combine the two. Should be an interesting day. Gonna eat my toast, drink my coffee. Right, ciao for now. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've made it out onto the marshland. What a beautiful morning it is. It's not actually as wet under feet as you may think, but the problem is the drone cannot be flown here because we've got, if you can see a big ball behind me, a military base just there, and apparently I'm not allowed to fly the drone. So I did try, but it wouldn't let me. So the Cessna is a long way in the distance down there. You probably can't see it. So unfortunately there's no drone shots, so I'll see you up there. Fingers crossed. And the tractor's just turned up as well, so he'll probably beat me there as well. Nightmare. Anyway. Alright guys, so the sun has come up behind me, but in the other direction there is a Cessna. What the heck's that doing there, eh? Anyway, I need a little bit of a drink and a rest, and then we're going to start work on that thing. It won't be long before the tractor's on its way out, but it's got to come from all the way over there. I'm not going to lie, it's nearly killed me this walk this morning. It's definitely not 7 o'clock just yet. Well, it might be because the sun's now up. It's taken me about an hour to get across this marsh, but hey ho, I'm not sure if it would have been easier going from these buildings here, but it's not, because there's dikes everywhere and they're massive, and I mean huge. There's one literally just there. I'll try and get the drone up again now we're a bit further away from the military base, but I very much doubt there'll be any drone footage here. Right, let's check her out. See, it's actually not too bad considering it's landed in a marsh. Now apparently this thing's going to be scrapped, but I'm going to do my best to try and save this aeroplane. You can see where it landed. It stopped pretty damn quick, but check that out. Isn't that a beautiful morning? And this is why I love this job. I really do. Something different every day. Alright guys, so as I am waiting for the lads to actually get a lift over here with the tractor, I'm going to start on this thing. As you see, I've already taken the cowl off, and now I need to get the oil drained out of it. We are having to get all the fluids out of this before it can be heli lifted out of here. Why they've chose to heli lift, no idea. I think you could actually drag it out of here, but it would still be a problem at the ramp. So anyway, shame about the bit of damage on it, but someone said this was scrap, and I think it's far from scrap, so let's see if we can save it, eh? Right, I'm going to crack on.
I never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run.
So we have got everything drained out of the aircraft. Now one team has just headed back off again because we've got too many people here to fit on the one machine. Now it was absolutely hectic for a while, so that's why there was no filming or anything, but this thing is going to get scrapped, unfortunately. We've tried our best to save it, but the insurance man came along and says no, you need to whack a hole in it and just get it lifted out of here. Shame, but it is what it is. So we're against the tide. The tide is literally on the turn and it's coming back in, so we've been told to get out of here. So we're hopefully going to stick around and see the heli actually lifted out of here, but I think they've got a ground crew coming, so it's nothing to do with us, that bit. Anyway, really sad, really sad. It's a shame that that thing's going to get scrapped. It's not a bad thing, but next thing, get us out of here, get that out of here. Alright, so we are on the back of the ATV. It's super muddy and the tide's coming in, so we're kind of against time here. We've got a cowling on the back of there. I don't want to drop my phone, it's super bouncy, so I'll see you in a bit. So we have made it back onto dry land. The aeroplane is currently still out there. It's about 11 o'clock and it's very close to high tide. So we've been told to get onto, well, dry land basically. There's no one out there anymore, and the helicopter is going to come in with a ground crew, drop them off at the aeroplane, and then hoist it out. So how that's going to work exactly, I do not know. I've not been in charge of this, and the plan is to lift it straight from there. It's just there in the distance, and then it's going to get dumped straight in this field behind us. So fingers crossed it does all go to plan, but yeah, I think I'd have done it a bit differently if it was up to me. I think it could have probably been dragged out of there. There is a road to it, but how the ground crew are getting out as well, I have no idea. This is all yet to be worked out, but it's not our problem. So fingers crossed, in the next half an hour the aeroplane will be in there. Ciao for now. Alright, helicopter has just turned up in the field. It's got to pick insurance man up, and then it's taking him and the ground crew out to the aeroplane, which is still out there. Hopefully in the next half an hour or so that aeroplane will be in this field. Fingers crossed. That does not look like a big helicopter, I have to say. Let's see how they get on. So, the first thing the helicopter had to do was pick up the insurance man from the farmer's field and take him to the crash site, so he could be satisfied he wasn't going to be involved with the second incident out on the marsh. Okay, so it's a little difficult to see as the aircraft was really far out, but the ground crew now had to rig the aircraft for lifting. At first it looked like they were going to strap to the engine and then the wings, which would have been ideal, but at last minute they seemed to give up on rigging at the engine and strap to the tail instead. Now it was just a matter of taking the insurance man back to the farmer's field, attach the lifting hook to the helicopter and lift the aircraft from the marsh, leaving just one of the helicopter's ground crew with the aircraft out on the marsh. So that was attempt number one, and it would appear that the rigging was set up a little uneven and there was too much weight on the rear strap. So they adjusted the straps the best they could out in the marsh and then went for attempt number two. However, the second attempt only confirmed two things. The scrapping of the aircraft is almost certain now, and that they would have to adjust those straps significantly to ensure a successful lift. Alright, so that was attempt number one from the lifting crew, and it looked like there was a lot of weight on the tail of that aeroplane. So whether they're going for a re-strap or what, I have no idea, but it looks like they're going to pick someone back up out of the field, get out there and try again maybe, or they might have just said let's call it quits. I hope they get this thing out of here. That water has definitely got a bit worse from before, hasn't it? managed to get the aeroplane underneath the helicopter. So as long as they get that down in that field pretty soon, job's a good one. Now that is that plane's final flight, and it's very strange to see them like that, I have to say. But that aeroplane does not want to come down. Check this out. Well, that's it. They've at least got it up over the fence and into the dry land. Will that Cessna ever go again? I very much doubt it, but now we have to get to it and put the cowlings back on, any parts that were with it that we took off. There's one guy still out there on his own getting toesies wet probably, but that's it. I'm gonna go and pick the vans up, get to the farm, see you in a bit. So it's the morning after the night before, and we have a Cessna in the farmer's field. I've been asked to dispose of this aeroplane, and it is scrap.